Alright, I'm back. It's now the next day, actually. I did actually have time yesterday, but my mom went to bed early and I didn't want to, you know, be recording a video like this at like 2 AM. That would just be annoying. So here we are now. So I figured some stuff out. First of all, regarding this issue, so, here's the thing. So if you look at this point here, we get rid of 13 stone keys, and then I said, well, we need some non-zero amount in the end, but we have 0 of literally everything. But actually, something that came to mind while I was gone is that World Omega actually has a clear condition. You can see in the top right it says cleared 0 out of 4. And so I think that if we clear this world, we'll actually get a stone key from it. And that will actually make sure that once we open that 13, that we actually still have 1 stone key remaining. Which should be good. Now I'm not gonna do these sorry. I'm not gonna do these 3 levels. But I will just read this sign because I think it did say something about this. So yeah, this is a bonus world intended for after you've completed everything else. Let's see. Alright, so yeah, they do say something about everything beyond this point is for later, and I think now is that time that we need to do this. So, okay, we've salvaged this here. Now, how do we make sure that we can actually get through here now? Let's see. I think what you want to do is... Oh shoot. Hold up. Okay, wait. I think I want to salvage this one. But that means I have to change this, because right now I can't get through here. That's fine. I'll just... Yeah, we'll just go over to here. Wait, so this is number 79. And I'll just make this blue for now. Honestly. I just need to get to the... Actually, no, wait, I don't want to make it blue. I want to make it... What do I want to make it? Well, I need 12 pure keys. So... Oh wait, if I need negative 12 pure keys, then... Hold up. Then I just make the outside of this pure and we're actually good. Alright. Should be good. I don't know what those 12 black keys are for then. But yeah. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, meanwhile I was here thinking, oh, this world only has 3 levels. That's pretty simple. No, apparently it has a lot of levels. Oh god. The problem. Let's see what these are all about. Alternator. There's also just like no description for any of these. It's actually insane. Okay. I think we'll tackle these all later. But it is very interesting to note that this is just a thing. Oh, you can't actually go back from here. You have to, I think you have to exit out like this. Yeah. Is there anything on here? I find this layout a bit weird. Okay, it's just a bit of decoration, I guess. But yeah, all of these are open, so I just need to solve 4 of these, and then I can move on through this door, and I can also move on in the other area. But first, I might read this, actually, because we also unlocked this. This is a cute photograph. Looks like it's Kina and her friends. It looks like they're having a good time. That's good. I recognize those trees from the hub room too. Looks like it was taken there. Makes sense. Some of these worlds would be great hangout spots. Even though I don't have the full context for this photo, I think I can still appreciate it. That's good. Alright, let's see. Okay. This is gonna be a lot of reading. So... Feel free to always... in the VODs I always have timestamps, so feel free to skip ahead if you don't want to see this, but I will read through it all now. Was playing some video games today and had a funny idea. Matching colored keys and doors honestly isn't that new, but I wonder what a game of just that would look like. Puzzles are nice, so I wonder if there's anything silly I can do with the idea. I know it's a little silly given I'm the god of keys and doors and all, but the thought won't get out of my head. Instead of a video game, I'd like to get a bit ambitious and see if I can get the ambassador program in on it. Oh right, there was something about that. Like the whole reason we even are here. It's certainly a larger ask, but working in the physical realm is fun, and I figure I could use the fresh air. I'll brainstorm some stuff for now, but no way I'm doing this without friends. No way am I doing this without friends. Oh, well, finding friends? Alright. I'm thinking of something like an escape room. That should be a fun way to present it. I'll probably need the god of space to get the basic stuff set up. It's what all the others say anyway. As for the actual mechanics of everything, having to actually carry keys and unlock doors sounds way too cumbersome. Yeah. And that's why it's not actually physical. What I have in mind runs on video game logic anyways, so I guess I'll need some really complex video game-ish magic. Guess I'll see if I can contact Spindles and get them in on this. It'll certainly help to have someone to bounce ideas off of too. Okay, so one of these two is probably Spindles, and the other one is the god of space. You know, you in the middle look like the god of space, I'm gonna be honest. As for testing, the god of truth has a ton of acolytes. I figure someone in that space will inevitably be down to give it a try. Oh, maybe you're the god of truth and you're the god of space. I don't know. We'll see. The first key. Took a while, but I arranged our first meetup. Decided against seeking a tester, since I'd rather wait until I have things to test first. We've been loving it out in a classic grey void, basic god of space fare. I made a decent enough template key and door with Spindle's help. Got the color set up too. It was a fair bit of work to set up the basic systems, but I was able to make a test puzzle. Seems like it's in working order now. Good job. Already seeing plenty of things I should probably do next before anything else. I also want to mention, if you actually want to know like the way that this game was designed, it's actually based on I Wanna Lockpick, which I haven't played, but Isolate Puzzles has like a video about that. Where like they go over like the games that came before this and the games that came after this in the kind of lockpicking genre. So I recommend watching that if you want to know more about that. Anyway, systems and stuff. It was quite the struggle, but I made larger keys and doors work. It's all parameterized, so I'll be able to make all sorts of things on demand. That's a good game design tip. If you want to make something real quick, or if you wanna actually be able to focus on level design, you wanna make the process of adding in objects as simple as possible. So for example, if you have some tiles, like a wall, you wanna make sure that there's code that automatically makes those link up, so that you don't have to manually switch tile types. So like if you have a corner, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, if you have a corner, that you don't have to place a separate corner tile, but that the fact that there's a tile here and a tile here, yeah, that there's tiles right here, that already automatically makes that a corner tile. So stuff like that is good to have. And also with locks, if you just place like a big lock down as one object, if that's possible, and you can have a variable, for example, that indicates the number of indicates the number that you need. That's something that makes it a lot easier to work with. Anyway, Worst part was having to explain to Spindles how I wanted to place and align the numbers. Who'd have thunk this could be so hard? Yeah, I guess the numbers. Yeah, because for single locks, it's just a lock, it's just a square. For double locks, it's a rectangle. For 3, it's also a rectangle. I think 4 is when it starts becoming a square. And then all of the subsequent ones are just larger and larger squares. So yeah, that is interesting. Luckily, magic is really handy, in that magic spells are able to cast other magic spells with specific parameters. Bro, this is just... okay. Seems like the more I can take advantage of that, the easier it'll be to make everything else going forward. Spindles agrees too. This feels like some weird analogy of coding, but instead it's like... gods. It feels like the dev is trying to explain how they made things work without actually explaining how they made things work, but like doing it in a lore accurate way. Anyways, I'm taking a break after that. Nothing but puzzles. As it turns out, basic puzzles with keys and doors are kinda hard to make. That's true. Like, once the fundamentals are done, the only puzzles I can think of are basic logic puzzles and more messy algorithmic puzzles. So I'm brainstorming some neat ideas to see if I can expand the concept a little bit. Scope of things is certainly getting bigger now. That aged well. But I want to see if I can take this somewhere. It's been a while and so many more ideas keep coming to mind. It's gotten to the point of splitting all the puzzles into worlds. I suppose I'm in for the long haul now. Thinking it's time to maybe get a tester now. Spindles technically suffices, but I'd like someone who isn't in the know. Yeah, having someone test who knows the ins and outs is not the best thing ever. Although, it certainly brings an important question to mind. Should I try to hold on to surprises for everyone I might end up working with? Or keep them up to date as the going continues? My intuition said I should get a friend for sharing and a friend for surprising. Makes sense, yeah. I still need to find folks to fill those roles, but it'll probably be the best for both progress and my mental well-being in the long run. Making this stuff is a lot. It is also a lot. Like, Jesus. 78 hours so far? A while longer yet, but I came back into contact with my old friend, Intrica. It felt nice to have a chat over tea with her, just like the old times. I hope to keep that up, although I can't promise I'll abandon the hermit lifestyle anytime soon. I mean, I'ma be honest. The hermit lifestyle can just be fun. Especially if you're working on a creative project and you just want to shut yourself off from the outside world. It's great. You should try it. Also, take care of yourself if you do that. As for a tester, I finally found someone who's alright. Just a guy named Crane. Bro, don't expose my Wordle first guess. All I had to do was ask the group of acolytes if anyone liked puzzles, and it only took like a second. I've got a few testers on reserve now too. Crane is a fun fellow. Definitely has more than a handful of things to talk about when it comes to puzzles too. On a different note, it feels weird to sort of become the de facto organizer of a group like this. While the temptation to onboard a ton of people is there, I think I know better than that to let things get out of control. Yeah. I mean, this was probably, this was like a solo endeavor by the dev. Besides some of the music, but most of it is taken from games. The pre-existing games, but some of it is new, I think. But yeah. Like, if this were a team effort, it would... Like, you always have to make sure that the creative direction aligns, and the bigger the team is, the harder it is to do that. So, like, that's, I guess, one of the advantages of working solo, is you just can decide 100% what you're gonna do, but also you have to do 100% of the work. So yeah. Keeps going. It's getting hard to tell exactly what I should write about in here, since there's so much. Progress is seemingly speeding up, at least. I've come up with some really fun ideas, and it's fun to watch Crane bear witness to everything. Although I suppose I should mention something that could be a bit more alarming. I've got a lot of ideas now. Enough to realistically be able to turn this into, well, the whole thing, to put it contemporarily. At the very least, I've got a decent idea of which concepts are safe bets to try making a reality. Shocker, it's the simplest ones, and the ones which are just straightforward extensions of the pre-existing concepts. Who'da thunk it? Yeah, I guess... I mean, I guess bicolored doors are really not... Yeah, I mean, they are kind of extensions of the main concepts, yeah. I think some of those mechanics from the backside were also an I Wanna Lockpick. I don't remember which ones. Again, see the video, that's probably going to be in the description. But yeah. Like, I think a lot of those mechanics were... Like, I think glitch keys were definitely new in this. And like, combo doors I think were already present in Keypick. I think negative master keys might not have been. Which is definitely a simple extension of an idea, because it's just... You just think about, okay, what does a master key do? And you just do the inverse. You just add in an extra lock. And that's your negative master key. So yeah. Anyway, it certainly feels less restricting to be able to work with these new ideas in my puzzles as well. The more I fill out my toolkit, the more involved the puzzles can actually get. It only feels like I'm just getting started. Because, yeah, if you're in the backside, you're only getting started, yeah. Big puzzle. Alright, this is gonna be probably the labyrinth. Gonna need a good long rest after designing that one, but I did learn a lot of important stuff. Instead of having vague big ideas about a big puzzle, it seems to work better for me to connect a bunch of smaller, more solid ideas together. Yeah, this is also like, if you're actually solving the puzzle, it's much better to look at specific parts that are going to be interesting and try to work out the solution from there. Like, the first thing I noticed when I started with that puzzle is like, oh, there's this weird thing with, you know, there's this weird thing with the brown keys at the end, that you need 0 of them. How am I going to make that work? And then basically the entire puzzle revolves around that, and you need to, you know, get 0 of everything except... Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the details were, but... And then, yeah, the brown keys were of course a problem, and then I proved to myself that the level was impossible. That was fun. Anyway, it seems to work better for me to connect a bunch of smaller, more solid ideas together. In the recent case, I basically gave every key color its own special role instead of deductions. Yeah, that was also a thing. Like, each key color was like... They were all intermingled. Oh, sorry for hitting the mic there. They were all intermingled, but like, you had to do a separate deduction for each one. To work out what you actually had to do there. Now, I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but I do definitely remember that that was a thing. Whereas with Chromatic Monolith, it's more like in these sections, and like each key color also influences each other key color, so it's much more complicated. I'm mostly saying that because I haven't beaten that level yet, and I still don't know how. I will say something about that in a bit. I did make some progress, but nothing that I can show for it. But I did realize one thing. Anyway, I even managed to implement some more abstract logical concepts, maybe to do with the dependency chains. I don't know what that's referring to. I think for my next big puzzle, I'd like to see if I can put a more surprising and memorable deduction in it. Oh. So there's probably going to be a surprising and memorable deduction in Chromatic Monolith that I haven't realized yet. Alright. Either way though, can't wait to see Crane take a look at that one for the first time. Hopefully he should be able to solve it. If not, well, I'll think of it later. I'm exhausted. Good night. Abstractions. I was always kind of aware of this, but there's a lot of math in these puzzles. Taking a second to really think about it though, that's a lot of math here. Like, way more than I think I'm used to seeing. Makes sense, since I've been pretty explicitly using a ton of numbers for all these puzzles anyway. I mean, numbers and math, you actually don't see a lot of numbers in high-level math. Like, it's actually surprising. A lot of it is just symbols. And if you were to expand it out, it would just be a lot of numbers or symbols. But, like, it's so condensed down into, like, the most general possible case that you really don't see a lot of numbers. Except if you're working out a specific example. That's one thing that I don't really like about the way that math is taught sometimes, is that like they often just start from the conclusions or like the results, and then you kind of have to piece together how they got there. I think this is something that if you're actually studying maths as a separate thing, because I'm doing physics and then, you know, you get some math subjects that you have to do, but if you're actually studying maths as a separate thing, then this is probably something that you get more of, is just like trying to figure out these proofs and results yourself. Because of course that's what they train you to be as a mathematician, figuring out these results. Whereas with physics, it's more about understanding the results and interpreting them. And being able to make, you know, simple deductions, but not these huge problems. And using maths to be able to make larger physical deductions, which is of course the more important part, is that we need to, you know, understand the physics of, and how, you know, you can use math to model real life, basically. That's it. Anyway, I'm yapping. The thought does occur to me though, I wonder if I could take it a step even further. To sort of lay a foundation. Usually puzzles are about one of few things. New mechanics or interactions, a specific logical deduction, a tricky move, or a well-hidden secret. The type of puzzle I'm thinking of, I suppose I'd call it an abstraction puzzle. A puzzle which uses stuff here to represent a more abstract or complex problem. I don't know what they're referring to again. Math pops up even more when abstract thinking gets involved. Oh, these are like the systems of equations and those types of things. So like when you have like, you know, those tons of locks and then you have like these blank locks at the end. Like in World 7 we had one in T4 I think too, where like you had this system of equations that you needed to solve, and basically figure out how many keys do I need of each color in order to solve the level. Yeah, okay, that's what they're referring to. I figure I'll toss in a few funny ones, or only rarely though. Knowledge gating someone with a mean math problem would just be rude. 11B. But if completing the puzzle doesn't matter, then it's more just kind of funny. Yeah, so that's why they're bonus stages. I bet Crane will love them. Yeah. I guess 12A was also one of those. 12A was that's a fun one. I mean, 11B was also fun, I just didn't solve it in the right way. I just kind of half-brute forced it, but also had a system in going into it. You know, the elegant solution is, of course... Well, I'm not actually going to spoil it, you can just watch that video, but I used modular arithmetic and it would just... It did work, but it was kind of a fluke, and it... It was certainly better than brute force, but not much. Crane told me about something very interesting today. It's called a meta puzzle, which is... man, here we're gonna get into those. Which is basically just a puzzle which interacts with the space outside the normal play area, so like the overworld and stuff. The one Crane showed me was interesting, was about abstraction and clue finding, which is cool. Perhaps it's becoming a habit, but I really want to see if I can make something like that now. Ambition. Scope creep. It's real. What I have in mind is... I suppose it's more like a regular puzzle, but with a new meta action instead. Salvaging. It seems that just like there are many different types of puzzles, there are also many different types of meta puzzle. It's fascinating to think about, but what on earth do you even design for a meta puzzle? It's very different from what I'm used to. Yeah, probably T2 as you know, people on stream have said many times. Probably was horrible to design. Not horrible, but probably really complicated. Because like there are like 5 different puzzles just on the overworld in that novel. It's actually insane. Alright, maybe too much. I've been thinking non-stop for days now. There's so many ideas for all sorts of cool meta puzzles and meta actions and meta mechanics I want to make. However, as fun as it is to think about, the fundamental issue remains that they're still extremely hard to actually wrap my head around. I've been trying to keep everything organized and formulate some basic strategies and rules, but even then, it's so much to keep track of. Maybe I should be trying to approach these meta puzzles with the same type of mindset as the big puzzles from earlier. Yeah, maybe in small chunks. I guess, yeah, if you design T2 in a way where you're like, okay, I want to have this meta puzzle in here, how do I make sure that the levels line up to have that? And then, oh, I want to have a puzzle where you know, go over the wall. Okay, I need to have a salvage that's like this big, and then you design a puzzle where you have that big salvage. I guess in that case, yeah, that does work. Because yeah, if you want to do it all at once, it's just not going to work. Again, divide and conquer is not just a good problem-solving strategy, apparently it's also a good problem creation strategy. Who knew? I get the feeling that there's no singular working strategy for doing it, so I might have a better chance stringing together a puzzle using smaller, easier bits to rationalize. It can be really overwhelming though. At least I'm still able to bounce stuff with my pals. Gotta remember to take breaks and all that. Maybe a walk outside to clear my mind. Damn, there are so many of these. I mean, I think... Okay, we're getting there. Feedback. Crane's been busy the past few days, so I'm thinking about onboarding some more testers for this thing. It'll probably take a while for them to catch up to where Crane is, but it's important that they go through the same motions. Spindle says that a lot of problems can slip through testing, so having more testers is a good measure to take. I wonder if these people, by the way, that they're mentioning are gods, are actually like friends of the dev. Like if this first tester, Crane, is actually just some person named Crane, or some pseudonym. Would be interesting to know. I'll just assume that it is the case, because I think that's just more wholesome, you know. Anyway, I figured testing this must be a lot of work though. I already put a decent amount of work into organizing sessions and feedback outlets. Can't be easy to actually construct and keep track of all the feedback they have in mind. Maybe it would be a good idea to make a room where everyone could just hang out and cool off from work. And that's the guest room. Right, we've just been returning to the real world for stuff, but since I'm already making artificial worlds, why not get creative? Anyways, back to work. It's both very fun and humbling to watch more people experience this for the first time. Even though working on this is getting very hard, I'm glad people are mostly getting to experience all the cool ideas we had since this started. Maybe, after feedback is collected, I'll just take a break for a while. I've got other things in my day-to-day life, as well as other personal projects. Everyone here is understanding and patient. They should be okay with it, and I can always ring them if the need arises. For now, though, I can tell that what my mind really wants to do is just sit back and relax. So I guess I'll do that now. Bye. Alright. Quirky meta things. Is this gonna be Omega keys? Just taking a quick moment to write about another quirk with designing meta puzzles. Oh no, it's more design, okay. Specifically that changing or adding even tiny new things can have dramatic consequences. This is probably in, you know, referring to T2 or like T4. I reckon that T1 and T3 were a bit easier to design because T3 is just like, you just have 6 levels. I guess 7 if you include the one below the map. That one was probably a bit harder to design. But, yeah, you just have 6 levels. Some of them have Omega keys as well. I think only one, actually. And then at the end, you just have a specific salvage that actually, you know, gets you to the next world. I think the main hard part there is because the salvages influence things within the level. So, but that's like contained. It's not like an overall type thing. Where with T2, the entire map of T2 is just a puzzle. And then T1 is like sort of contained, but not really. And T4 is of course also really huge. But I think it's not as much. I think T2 was harder to design, honestly. It just feels like there's more stuff going on there. It could be hard to remember all the rules I laid out when starting the design, which means it's easy to forget and then accidentally break them. Luckily, I was able to, eventually, come up with a fix for the instances of that which cropped up. It also means that you really have to know what you're doing on a top-down level before you dedicate to making it a reality. Yeah. I mean, from a problem-solving perspective, this is also true. If you do Chromatic Monolith and each time you figure something out, you just do the level in its entirety until you get stuck, you would take literal ages to figure out the level. So yeah, that's why I'm also like not playing the level a lot, because I know that I'm not going to be able to finish it. I know that I need to figure that thing out with, you know, the problem I had on stream. And before I can even have a shot of doing the rest and doing the full run. So yeah, top-down perspective is important. But also sometimes it's good to just actually do it and see how it's, you know, to also get the ideas out. Because once you're in the thick of designing something like this, you're locked in until it's either done or you have to scrap something major. Yeah, true. I ended up doing the latter just now. Wasn't the best, but I really couldn't do the alternative. Meta puzzles are hard! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Enough said. I don't know who enough is, but don't call me enough. Coming to fruition. I'm mostly done with that meta stuff now. Now I can take a break with some smaller, simple puzzles. This would be World 12 and World 0? I forgot what they could feel like. It feels nice to be able to just freely add some new small things to the mix. Yeah, this is probably World 12 and World 0. Maybe gigantic interconnected puzzles aren't always what they're cracked up to be. Well, they're still cool if done well, just a godly pain to work on sometimes. That's a nice pun. Party! So, something funny happened today. Someone from the ambassador program showed up and gave me an invitation to a party. It was quite the event. A bunch of other gods were there, even some ancient ones. Like the god of causality, which is not with me today. Especially in Chromatic Monolith. We mostly just camped out in the woods and did random strange activities. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but it says that OBS has crashed. Even though it literally has not crashed yet. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Give me a sec. I'm gonna... Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I pressed no on the little pop-up that appeared, like, oh, OBS has crashed. And then it actually closed OBS. So, yeah, that was fun. I don't know why that happened. There's no pop-up this time, at least, so that's good. Anyway, so we mostly just camped out in the woods and did random strange activities. I'm not really the type to impress upon others, but there were a few nice folks just hanging around amongst the trees. Though, I've gotta say, Burgess who catered this party has quite a sense of humor. If there was anything I remember about this night, it was seeing that polka dot map roll out in front of an audience of largely non-humanoid beings. Okay. Good times. Makes me remember when I was just a human too. The lore thickens. Okay. So, in this world you become a god at some point. Interesting, interesting. End approaching. I'm nearly done with all the puzzles now, which sounds kind of wild to actually dedicate to words. I still have a bunch of ideas that I could theoretically make, but I think I'm ready to wrap things up now. Knowing that an end is actually approaching has kind of made me allergic to the idea of extending things out even further. Maybe one day I'll come back to this, but for now, I think what I have is... I think what I've made is sufficient. It all works. It's all good. There are still a few loose ends, but I think I'm fine leaving them as such. After all, my obligation was never to tie up the loose ends. It was just to make the things I wanted to make. Yeah, this is also... This is like a good example of how to deal with perfectionism. It's kind of a simple solution, and it's also really hard at the same time. But it's just to say, enough is enough. I've made what I wanted to make. And more, sometimes. Like... Think about it. You started with absolutely nothing, and you made this whole thing. Like, who cares if there's one puzzle that you wanted to make and you just can't get it to work? Fine, just leave it be, or maybe come back to it later. But just get that thing out already so that people can see it. And maybe they'll have an idea on how to work with it. But again, yeah, surrounding yourself with people to do all the playtesting and stuff and to bounce ideas back and forth is already a good idea. Anyway, so I'll just continue checking things off the to-do list, and before I know it, suddenly there won't be anything left to work on. What a thought. Making things presentable. It's almost time to contact the ambassador program about this whole thing. Feels good to be here. I wanted to do one last round of testing, just to be absolutely sure. There are still some last little adjustments I want to make, but just to make the place more presentable and the experience more accessible. One such addition probably being this diary. It feels relevant to include in all this. Yeah, actually it does. It definitely does. I think I'll go ahead and make an abridged copy of it and put it at the very end. You know, we're reading that right now. I figure that if someone would truly do everything to reach this point, they're probably the type of person who would enjoy reading something like this. I am in fact enjoying this, so yeah. Also, I just find it funny that it says talking here, which, you know, we're reading. I mean, I guess I'm talking, but... Okay, yeah, whatever. Hopefully there's some good stuff to learn here. If not, then sorry, I guess? Nah, you're fine. Hello, by the way. Thanks for reading. It's time to get this thing started. Time really flies by. I'm not sure I can manage a large number of participants, so for now I'm just opening for one person. Namely, the person we're playing as? They asked me if I had any preference for who to invite, and I thought about it a bit. Someone who's good at puzzles would probably make sense to invite, but I had something else in mind. I'd like to see if I could inspire someone who may not have had a prior interest in things like this. You know, they're probably referring to the in-game character and not, like, the player. But, like, me personally, like, you know, I've played it and 100%ed Baba Is You, like, the main game. I still need to do, like, the extra stuff that got added later. But, yeah. Like, so I have some experience with meta puzzles, but, like, this level of meta puzzles I definitely have not seen before. And, like, Inkify also said this. Like, I think before, when I was solving puzzles, especially in Baba Is You, you need a lot of lateral thinking for those puzzles, and also a bit of logical thinking, but I think mostly lateral thinking, honestly. Or that's the way I went about it. But actually, I think if you go about it, especially this game, but also Baba Is You, if you go about it in a more logical way, and only use lateral thinking for, like, those little twists in the level, then that's a much better way to play, and it's much more satisfying, because you can actually know things with certainty, and you don't feel like you're just waltzing into the solution, but you actually feel like you constructed it, basically, or reconstructed it. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, and there was something else I wanted to say about that. Oh yeah, so like, you know, logical thinking is good for knowing, like, okay, this and this and this I can know for sure, and there's just this one part that I need to focus on and think about in a more, you know, there's probably a, you know, a catch or an assumption here that I need to work on. And then you can use a bit of lateral thinking to just think about the bigger picture and think about, okay, what are my options here, and how would I get to, you know, like, you use a different type of thinking when you're working out those quirks. You know, that one level that I did yesterday, which might not be in, it might be in this recording, might be in the previous recording, I don't know. The one with the glitch omega key, that one was a good example. Like, the first 80% of that level was just logical thinking. You just have to see, okay, what salvages, how do I need to set them up? And that was all just deduction. Like, there were only a few options there. And then at the end, you did have to do a bit of lateral thinking, like, okay, how do I actually make sure that I get pure to 0? And then you can think, okay, this is the option that I have. Okay, how do I get to that? And then there was the weird step of setting up orange beforehand to be 40, and then it works. So yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the way that, like, I go about solving puzzles now, as opposed to in the past where it would just be a lot of trial and error. So yeah. I just told them to find someone nearby who happens to be looking for something to do. They'll be arriving in a few hours. All I can really do now is wait. No matter who they are, though, I hope that they will enjoy this strange thing I've made. I suppose that's really the best I can ask for, right? Guess I'll leave it at that. Thanks for reading, Kina. Cool. Alright, that's everything. There might be another one if I beat Chromatic Monolith. I'll come back to this later. If beating some levels unlocks more things in this, but I'm pretty sure that's everything. So yeah, that was fun to read. Let's see if Kina themselves has anything to say. Oh, you do. You've read the diary, alright. I read all the stuff in your diary. So, what do you think? It was a good time. That's nice. I feel strangely bittersweet knowing that I've truly seen all there is to see now. Hey, that's not true. It was bound to happen eventually. I hope you enjoyed your stay. I did. Thanks for having me, Kina. I see, I've been promoted to you-haver. God damn it. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of a weird phrase to use. Yeah. In all seriousness, though, thank you as well. It's been fun to watch you keep pace with all my unusual ideas. It was well worth it. Absolutely. Okay. Say, since you've put in a work to read this far, I think I know something you might like. You know, an extra stone key would be nice so that I don't have to do World Omega right now. Nah, I'm just kidding. Is this the god of space? When you have the time, stop by Kina's diary for a moment. Something a little special will have opened up. See you there. Alright. Let's go back. Wait. Beyond the Lockpick Museum? The hell? Yo, wait, what? Are these all of the scrapped ideas? Oh, that's really cool, actually. Okay. Group? Bro, they put Baba's You groups into this? No way. This is insane, man. Room of Connection. Hold up. Who are you? Greetings. Lucas. Oh, are you the developer? You're the developer. Alright, cool. Hey, thanks for coming. I figure you already know what's going on by now, but let's make sure everything's clarified first. Firstly, hello, my name is Lucas Watson, and I'm the creator of I Wanna Lockpick. In case you've been paying attention to the story, consider this a liminal space with no connection or consequences to the rest of the experience. You probably just got done reading Kina's diary, and presumably you've read all the normal dialogue as well, the stuff in the museum. That was quite a lot of text, right? I actually didn't read that? Maybe I should do that first. Well, there's more than where that came from. A lot, actually. Consider this a warning before you triple your reading homework. And yes, I've programmed it so that you will have to read everything in order this time. Just so that everything I say will flow and that this conversation will feel a bit more real, really. Not the biggest reason. However, if you've managed to read this out of order anyways by skimming a copy of the text that was in a video or on a wiki, then congratulations on facilitating the funniest possible outcome for this bitch. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna have to do it in order. Anyway, it was when you're ready to chat, let's chat. Feel free to look around a bit or check back later, but once you've got some time, get strapped in. Alright, I will read that at the end of this playthrough. We'll come back to this, alright? Damn. Damn. Alright, let's go back. Okay, again, I'll read this later. This doesn't have anything... Yeah, so it's just this. Alright. So, let's actually go to the epilogue now. And actually try and solve this puzzle. So as I said, we need to get through here. Let's see, so... I'll just write this down here, so... Solution... Do World Omega, or clear World Omega. To get... the... Yeah, the last stone key. I assume it's the last stone key. Don't think there's anything else after this. you know, things are seeming to wrap up now. Alright, so we just need to figure this out. So 213 pure keys, and then I need 0 pure keys each time. So yeah, we need exactly 213. Okay, so what I do find interesting is just how many salvages we have here. Because we have 60 to 77, which is 18, is off by 1 stuff. And how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so we might have multiple for some of these. That's interesting to note. Yeah, okay. I think this is just... Let me think. So yeah, all of this left stuff is just to set things up. It doesn't actually influence anything because, again, this gate is here. And you get this. Wait, 1 red key to start? Oh, okay. How do you get 1 red key? I guess this makes sense. Oh, and then you immediately sign flip that number, and it should be -10. Oh, okay. So actually we need 10 red keys. Okay, but everything else is just normal, right? I think so. Yeah. So we'll just write that down, I guess. So need +10 red keys. And again, if you didn't catch that, so we need positive to go through here. We sign flip this, and then we need to go through here. And then, yeah, we also need to have exactly 10 because this needs 0 red to open. So all of these need to be exact. Also interesting to note that we need 50 stone keys. We have 13 at the moment. I wonder... Because surely if you've done World Omega, the solution to this puzzle is going to change, right? Like, how is that going to work? I don't know. We'll see. Need +37 or... Wait, so yeah. Yeah, so that's a bit weird, but hopefully it doesn't affect if this level's possible or not. Okay, 213. I think... I don't know if we want to start at the start or do it out of order. Because there are a lot of things here. Maybe we should do it like out of order. Actually, oh wait, one thing I thought of is if you... Hold up. If you do a blast stone door, and then followed by something that gives you 50 stone keys, then you'll know that it is exact. Also important to note is that we must start with something stone, because otherwise we can't actually get anything. Alright. Oh, and that's why this was probably 213, isn't it? Okay, there's also a lockless knock in here. God damn, this is actually a complicated thing. I mean, I know from looking at it that it is complicated, but like, I didn't expect it to actually... Like, I didn't expect to not know what even the first step is. I mean, these ones are pretty self-explanatory, right? You have 10, 20, and 30 in here. Yeah. So this... You actually don't have 30. Hold up. You don't have 20 either. That's... Okay. Also, wait. So how many salvages do I have? So I have 18, I think I said, because it starts at 60, ends at 77, yeah. And I had 13 of these. So yeah, okay. I might write that down as well. So basically, each one of these has one salvage, but some of them will have multiple. So 18 salvages, 13 locks on right side. Alright, so that's cool. Wait, why can't I zoom? Okay, no. I just... In the bottom left it says X to zoom and I was just like confused, but no. You can't actually zoom in this. There's nothing to zoom out to. Okay, I like that this is just adding up. So like if I could get 10 and then 20, then I can easily get 30. If I can get 30 and 20, I mean, you know, if I have these two, I can easily get 50. So that's already interesting to note. I think I kind of need those anchors of things of certain key amounts that I can then adjust. Like I need something which has 100, which I can then adjust in both ways, like here. And then if I want 200, I can do something like this and then subtract 1 or something, I don't know. Yeah, I think the first thing we want to look at is just getting this 10, 20, 30, 50, because that's like nice and round. So, okay, so we definitely need something. We definitely need one lock that's just this 10, but for stone keys, and then we get negative 10 red. So that already fixes that first thing. No, wait, we need positive 10 red. I forgot. Okay, so that actually doesn't work then. No, that doesn't actually work. Okay. We could do a 9, but then that would be annoying to set up. Huh, I really don't know how to go about this. Okay, I also find it interesting that 256 is the last one. Is there something special about 256 in this? I don't know. Okay. So, best way to get 10 red keys would be, I guess, yeah, getting negative 10 of something, but then I'd need to sign flip stone first, which I can do. Okay, I can sign flip stone, I can get 10 red. Can I get 20, negative 20 green? It is actually negative 20 this time, so I need something which takes off some key amounts. Well, I don't have 15 of these, so that doesn't work. I could do 2 of these, and then for red, and then that works. Yeah, then I get 20 green. But I think there's a better option, which is just to use one of these. Because I want 10 to go to negative 20, right? So if I have these two being red and the outside being green, then that works. Alright. So yeah, then I can get -20. And then from there, I want to get -30. But I also want to get 50. Now, if I'm using these things, I keep needing to scroll back and forth. But anyway, so if I want to use these, it basically flips the sign each time of whatever the outside is. Like, if I have positive here, it'll be negative in the end. If I have, you know, that's not generally true, but it's like for now that's still true. So we have 50 that we want to get to. I think 30 we skip for now, and we actually want to do 50 immediately. So then we need 20 twice, and then 10. Thing is, 10 is positive, so that actually doesn't work. We could use a 4, so we could say 20, 20, 20, and then 10. Because then we get -60, and then plus 10, -50, and we add that, so we get 50. Yeah. And then, at this point, we don't need the stone keys anyway. So, we can get rid of them. Alright. So, at that point, how many salvages have we used? We've used... 1... 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've gotten... I think 3 of these. That's fine because it's setup work. Alright, but I'll write that down already. So... inside red, outside orange. I'll make numbers, I guess. Inside red, outside orange. No, sorry, why am I saying orange? Stone. No, wait, inside stone, outside red. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart moment. Wait, but then we have a -10. Hold on. Yeah, I wanted +10, so actually... This is actually numbered... Yeah, whatever. Sign, flip, stone. I do wonder why you would ever need these. I guess if both of them are negative, then... But... I mean, there's an obvious advantage to using this, right? Over this. I get... Yeah, this one No. I don't really see why these two exist. If you just have this one. But maybe there is some reason. Oh well. So yeah, we sign flip stone, which is this one. Then we get 10 red. Now we want to get to 10 green, so that's still this one. So this is inside red twice. And then outside green. Alright. Alright, so then green setup, and then I want to set up stone. Yeah, so get rid of remaining stone. Need to get rid of remaining stone. God, this is gonna be complicated if I'm doing this. You know what, I'll just put that... Actually, no, wait, it's negative, so actually I do need this. Yeah, then I want to get 50 stone, so that was this one. So Inside 2 times... No, 3 times green, 1 times red. Outside stone. This leads to 50 stone. Alright. Alright, so now we can continue. Let's see, so we have the right key numbers for this, this, and this now. Can we get to 30 easily? Let's see. Well, 30 is gonna be... I think we need 2 salvages for this one. Maybe we can do it in just one. We need something where it's 30, so then it takes away 30. So the end result should be 30. We have negative 20 green. I mean, I could just do red 3 times. That actually works. Yeah. Yeah, that actually works. So, yeah, just this one with red. And then, okay. So, 30, wait. Inside is 3 times red, outside is blue. Alright, so then that's set up. Okay, now we've got most of the round numbers, which is good. Now I want to start making these small adjustments. No, we still need 100. And also, here we have 75. I don't know how we're gonna get that from what we have right now. Is there something where we get 5? Yeah. Okay, so we need 5 of something. We need 1 of something. We need 3 of something. And then I think we don't actually need 2 of something. That's not necessary. Alright, so we'll need some intermediary ones. So we'll have some key amount that is like 5. But it should probably be... Yeah, I feel like we should start by getting 5 black keys. No, negative 5. Right. It depends. Is there an easy way to get 70 or 80 in the negative? Well... If we do this and then this twice, we get... we get 70. So then in combination with a negative 5, that should be good. Is there a way to make 80 and then add 5 there? So then, yeah. If we do 80, how are we gonna do that? Then you would need 2 of these to get 100, and then 1 of these. That also works. So yeah, this one you need to make in 2 steps. So I'll write down what the small values we need. So 1, we need that for 99, we need that for 199, we need that for 9, we need that for 101. We need 3, we need that for 33, and I think 213 as well, probably. Then we need 5, no, we also need 4. That's for 54. And then we need 5, which is going to be for 75, maybe 256. Yeah, so those are the small values we still need. 1, 3, 4, and 5. Now, we'll need separate salvages to get these. Now I am worried about the fact that maybe we don't actually have enough salvages, because I said, okay, we have 18 salvages, 13 locks, and right now I've already used how many? Used 6. And how many have we set up? We've set up 4. So I actually only have... So I've already used 2 of these, so I only have 3 to spare. But I need 4 here, so that doesn't work. Okay, so one of these has to go. Or my strategy has to change for the start. But I think the start was okay. Like, my strategy here was okay. I don't really see how you would do it otherwise. You know, like the 2 instances that we're using this for are like to get rid of the remaining stone, which just seems like a hassle that I don't want to deal with. So yeah, that's fine. And then sign flipping stone at the start also feels like I need to do it. And everything else is necessary and like optimal. So... Alright, one of these needs to go, I think. 1 is too important. We don't want that go. Let me actually check how many, like, which values we have. Maybe there's another value that I'm missing that would be nicer. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Oh, we have 25. Oh, wait. Maybe 25 is what we need. If I have 25, can I do more stuff? I guess, yeah, with 25 I could do other stuff. I mean, but it would just be equivalent to... Like, here's the thing. Like, can I get more options if I have 25? Not really. Like, I could make 50 more easily, and I could make 75 more easily. But these would still require more steps. Actually, no, wait, yeah, I could be able to make these easy, and then this. I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking the only one where I need 4 is 54. Maybe I can make that one work without the 4. Because if I have 5 and then -1 somehow, then I can actually make 54 as well. Or I can make something that's 4 mod 5. So then this one can go, and I don't need that one. Alright, so I'll write this down here. So we have... Alright, so we don't actually get 4. Alright. Now here's something I've also thought about, is maybe we get 8 instead of 3, because here... Then we would get to 25 if we, you know, we could do this from 25 and 8. Here we could use 8 and 5. If we do 8 and 25, does that work as well? Then we have 8 and, wait, so 205 and 25, 180. Well, we can make 80. So, yeah. That could be an option. Yeah. Alright, I'll write this down here at the top. So alternatively, we use 1. I think 1 is too important to not have. 1, 8, and 25. 33 becomes easier. 213 from 180 plus 25 plus 8. How would we do 54 in that case? Well, if you add 8 to 54, do you get anything interesting? Not really. I guess you could do it from 33, 1, and 20. From 33 plus 1 plus 20, which 20 we do have as an option. Thing is, do the signs match up? I don't think they do. Because that's also something I need to think about, is the signs in all of these. Like also, if I want 199 in the negatives and 99, like positive, I think I need 1 and -1, right? Because I need something that's like 200 in the negatives, but then I add 1. No way, but it's gonna be... No, it's 200 on the total lock, and then -1. And then for this one, it's 100, -100, but then I add 1. So I need plus and -1. Oh. Shoot. Okay, so that actually also is a bit limiting. Okay, if I have plus and -1, then I can only have one other number. And I do feel like I need... I really feel like I need to have, you know, 8 at least. Maybe I don't need 25. But I needed something that's a multiple of 5, no, so that actually doesn't work. Do I really need 8? If I do 3, does that also work? Then I have 30, which I can get to, and I have this, which is also, you know, I can get to 200 and, hold up. I can get to 200, I think, yeah. How am I gonna get 256? That's also a question. Like I could get 6, and then everything else is annoying. I could get 2 3s. If I subtract 8, it's still 8. I don't have anything interesting. If I have 25, and I subtract that off, I get 221. And then I have 1, and I have 220, which... not really... I feel like I need to get that to 200 somehow. I don't know. It just feels really weird, like, how should I tackle this? I really don't know. I don't want to just start by trying stuff, but maybe I should do that. Okay, let me think about this maybe. Maybe I don't need, you know, the way that this is set up. Maybe I can get 25 of something. I make that work. I feel like I do absolutely need to get rid of the stone keys I have remaining. Although actually, this is 13, which in combination with the 33 here is actually useful. Maybe that's something I need to think about, because that is like a free extra number that I have, 13. Maybe stone is one of the last ones I do, actually. Hold on. Yeah, maybe I don't get rid of stone until later. And then I use the 13 on this. So, okay, so if I have 13 stone keys... Well, it's going to be negative at this point. It's going to be negative 13, which is fine. And then I have negative 20 green, and I can make this from that. Yeah, so actually... that works. So, negative 30, wait. So, outside is cyan, and then inside is green, which is at negative 20, and stone, which is at negative 13. So then I do actually get negative 33. You know, I take the opposite of that. So yeah, this is fine. So this is going to be near the end. So don't worry about the numbers. The numbers are just to keep track of how many I have. The order in which I'm doing them is going to be for later. Okay, but then everything actually stays the same. So I still have 3 salvages to spare, because I'm still using 2. I'm still using the sign flip stone, and I'm still getting rid of some by the end. So... that does mean I don't need anything with 3 anymore. But I am worried about this 54 still. But yeah. I still need 1, I still need negative 1. And then I still need one other number. Which is probably gonna be like 5 or 25. Yeah, I'll get rid of these notes. So... so 18 salvages, minus 13 locks, minus 2 setup steps. You know, finish steps with the stone. Is 3 steps to spare. Plus and minus 1 seems necessary. So we need plus 1 for 199, or the negative 199. No, wait, we need... we need plus 1 for 99 for... that's actually it, I think. And also 54. And then negative 1 for negative 199. I guess also no, we also need a negative 101. And then negative 1 for negative 199. I think. So, I don't know. Let me check. So, if you have some multiple of 5, let's say we can get to 55. I don't know if that's possible, but let's say we can get to 55 or in the negatives, and then we add on 1. Yeah, so it's a +1 here. Yeah, and then 99, we get to 100 in the negatives, we add 1, so it's 99, or -99, and then that works. And then here, we have 100 in the positives, we add 1, we get 101, this becomes a negative at the end. And then here we have 200, which will subtract 1 from, and then sign flip, and then yeah, we get that. Okay. Yes. Okay, so those two are definitely necessary. Then some multiple of 5. So we either need 5, 15, 25. Probably 5, let's be honest. Alright, I think that is sound. I think that's logically sound, and it's gonna work in the end. Alright, so now I just need to set things up, I think. Yeah, let's start with the small ones that I can easily see how to do. So we can get -9 orange pretty easily. We just need to... hold up. Yeah, we need something, some intermediary value, which is gonna be 1, which I'll just, I don't know. I guess I guess I'll write these down here. So we were at 7, yeah. So I'll just put these in. What color have I not used? It's a lot. This 8 is gonna be +1 intermediary. Actually, this is the -1, I lied. -1 intermediary. Then we have the +1 intermediary. And then we need some multiple of 5, which I'm not sure of, but let's just do 5, and then I don't know which one of these two. I'll just write it down here. So some multiple of 5 as intermediary. I don't know. So yeah, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 15, or plus or minus 25. I guess 50... no. It needs to be something that's a multiple of 5 and not a multiple of 10. Okay, yeah. I won't write that down, but I guess the math nerds will get annoyed at me if I don't mention that it shouldn't be a multiple of 10. Alright. So then, using the intermediary... I mean, I already mentioned this, right? So, oh yeah, I also forgot to add... oh yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna write that down again fully. But yeah, I forgot to mention this one. Here, I think you also use a -1, because you need 10 and then -1. So yeah, you use red and the -1 intermediary. So... man, this one is getting a lot of use. God, do I really need to get rid of all of this now? It's so slow. Anyway. So... outside orange, inside no, wait. Inside red, so this is +10, and -1 intermediary. Okay. Good. Then... next on the chopping block is... let's see. Is there a way for me to get to 100? Like, what's the best way for me to do that? Well, I have these 3 now. I don't have 50 of these yet. Also, one thing I'm actually worried about is... am I not gonna need an intermediary stamp that's 100? Maybe. Also, what's the difference between these two? That's interesting. It's 43. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, then I can definitely do something with pure and to get to master more easily. But I need this to work now. So don't tell me I'm actually gonna need 14 omega 14 stone keys for this. Like, I see a route through this that would work with 14 stone keys. Keep saying omega keys, it's not true. We have 14 omega keys, that is true, but yeah. Because yeah, the route with 14 omega, 14 stone keys, this would be easier. And then from doing this twice, no, that doesn't actually work. If you combine these two, you get... Well, actually, you don't get anything because they're different signs. I mean, you do get something, but not what you want. Damn it. Hold up. Wait, if we do 75 twice, we get 150. And then if we do another 50 on top of that, we get... Yeah. Hold up. That could work. We do 75 twice. You get 150, you do 50 on top of that, but then you need... If you want to get to here, I need those 13 stone keys. Or maybe 14. I think... Okay. Do I know how to get through these two? Well... I should just work in, you know, ascending order, really. Do I know how to get to 100 and then add or subtract 1? Is really the question. Well, I have negative 30, which I can do 3 times. Then I have negative 90. But then I can't add this because this is positive. I can do this twice and then this. Then I get... Oh yeah, if I do this twice and this twice, I get 100. But I need 4 to do that, so that doesn't actually work. Alternatively, if I have 75, I can use the 5 intermediary to get to 80, then add this, and then I get 100, and I still have 1 to spare, which I can use to get both of these. Then I can do this twice, which gives me 198, and then add 1. So actually that works, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I can make these 3 from this. Can I make 75 if I have a negative 5 to work with? Because that's what I said, right? I said you use negative 75, you use negative 20, so you also need a negative 5. So for that, I need to make this. I need the... So I would need 80 and then subtract 5. So I need to make 80 with at most 3 blocks. So 80 is gonna be... We can't use this. This is the really annoying part. We can't use this. 80 we can make from this, this, and this. Problem is that would be positive. And I don't want that. Maybe we do another intermediary step to make that work. Like, what if we had 30, 20, then we have... Because here we need negative 54, you know? So here we have this, then we have negative 5. And then we add 1. Then we get 54. And then you need 54 plus how many? Plus 21. 54, this twice, and then 1. And then you can get this. Alright. So yeah, that actually works. So I found a way to get this, I found a way to get this. Is there a way to get this easily? So yeah, I've basically found a way to get everything except these two and this one. So let me just think about this one. Because it's another low number. So 33. I mean, no, wait, didn't I already write that one down? I think I did. Yeah, I already did. So actually we already got that one too. So, alright, I'll write down purple, black, and then these two, and then this one. And also, yeah, that's everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. So purple was 54. We can get that from... So outside purple, and then inside was... So 54, so we have blue, which is at negative 30, green, which is at negative 20, intermediary, negative 5, and then we also have the intermediary plus 1. Here's also something I actually haven't really considered well, is how am I gonna deal with these intermediaries? Because they need to be something, right? And like, I've used every color, I think. Maybe there's something I haven't used yet. No, I think I am actually using everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I'm using everything but glitch, which... Glitch would be weird if we did that. I don't think it's gonna be glitch. So yeah, I do need to find a way to, like, at the end... No, wait, I need to change up my strategy completely, I think, because if I'm using intermediaries, then I need to also include those, because I can't make that, like, in that other level with the Omega Stone Key, we had, like, black as an intermediary, but, like, that didn't influence the level in any way. But here we're literally using every key type, so, like, I can't just say, okay, I'm gonna make this an intermediary, because, like, it needs to also become something in the end. Alright, that's actually interesting. Okay, I'm fairly certain about the fact that it is 1, -1, and like -5 though. Actually, I think I found a way to make the intermediary problem a bit easier. The last time, like the final time I use the intermediary is the one that should be it, if that makes sense. So let's say, I don't know how many times I'm using the -5 intermediary, but let's say that this one is the last one we use it on, then black should be the intermediary -5. Because after that I don't need it anymore and then it's nice and dealt with. But if I do use it after this, then I still need that, so it can't be black, because black is locked in at this point. I think that will make more sense when I actually write it out. Alright, but let me actually continue with what I was doing. So, 54, and then we have the 75, which we also obtain, so... So outside black, inside we have... What was it again? So we have 80, which is 30, 30, 20. So blue times 2. Green 1 time. And then we have 80, so then we use the -5 intermediary. Alright. Okay, I'm not gonna put these all on top of one another. It's good. I mean, I'll just put them in order. Let's be honest. I mean, no, actually, you know what? Screw it. We love janky notes. I'll just keep them like that. So yeah, okay, 75, and then what was the next one that I was gonna do? So yeah, these two. So how did I get 100 again? I got these two. I think? No. Because that didn't work. Yeah, no, I needed 75. So if I use 75... So it's -75, so we'll get to this one first. -75, -20, and then the negative intermediary. So yeah, then I have -100, and then I add 1, and then I get this. Okay, so... yeah. So that's white, need 4. Right. So inside we have black, which is -75. We have the -5 intermediary. We have green, which is at -20, and we have we have the +1 intermediary. Alright. Just gonna add that to the pile of notes. And then 101 is... So yeah, we need to get to 101, so we need to add 2 more to here. So yeah, use the +1 intermediary 2 more times. Namely pink. No, not pink, wait. To get pink. So yeah, it's 3 doing, okay. So outside is pink, inside is white, which is at 99. And then the +1 intermediary times 2. And then this is here, which somehow still fits, sort of. Okay, and then we get 199, which was from doing this twice. And then we get 198, and then we add 1. So yeah, white twice, and then we add 1, so that's the brown intermediary. So 16. Outside is brown. Inside is white times 2, and then +1 intermediary once. So this will again fit here. Alright, now we're really stretching it. And now I just need to worry about these last two, but I think we should be good on those now. Because we have 199. I need to... Okay, I have -13 as well. So then we just need the -1 intermediary. Yeah. And then we can get this pure. So... that's 3 locks. I'll just do this one. So that's number 17, which is outside pure. Inside is brown, which is at -199. Stone, which is still at -13. Because I haven't changed that yet. And then the intermediary. Bam. And then finally, I hope this works, but it should work. We then need to get to 256, which actually that is an issue. Hold on. Because this also is positive. So I need to start from here. Okay, we need to get 57 in 3 or less. That's interesting. 57, and I can only use negatives. Oh god. Is this where my luck runs out? Might be. Okay, maybe insane strat. Maybe we do 300 and then add 54. No, subtract 54. Because if I do this and then this, I have 300 in the negatives. And if I then subtract 54, I get 246. And then I need to add 10. Ah, which doesn't really work, does it? Because I don't... Because this is positive 10 in reality. And I need negative 10. Okay, that almost works, but it doesn't quite. Maybe I can adapt that idea, though. Wow, don't tell me the last one isn't gonna work and I'm gonna have to redo everything. I mean, at this point, do I need 50 stone keys? I don't know. Maybe I can manage my way through like that. Okay, here's also an interesting fact. If I do these three. Let me just... it's kind of funny how I've been going for so long and I haven't even used a calculator yet. I should probably just use one. But anyway, if I do -9, and then I do -199, and I do -101, okay. -309. How far off is that from 256? Well, I need 3, and then I still need... 53. That's not 54. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, but hear me out. What if I... What if I do... Wait. I feel like I can still make it work somehow. Even though it is very scuffed. 274. Oh, damn. That's not gonna work, is it? If I do -9, 283. Now I'm... How far off am I? 626. Yeah, that's not a nice number. But maybe wait. If I do -199 again, -75, 274. How far off is that? Well, I can just do 274 minus 256. I don't need to swan it. That's 18. Oh, if I do -9 twice. Hold up. 199. Okay, I need to clear. This calculator sucks. -199 minus 75. Oh, but I need to do +9 twice. Oh. Damn it. Come on, 256. You elusive bastard. Like I'm 18 off. That's not something that's gonna work out nicely. Actually, here's a very crazy idea. Have I tried using the 213? Which I know that's going in the wrong direction, but maybe if I do 213, then -199, -199, I get 185. Which if I do 256 -185, I get 71, which is not a number I have. Okay, so that doesn't work. -199, -30, -20. Oh. Oh shoot, that's 7. Thought that was 5 for a sec, I don't know why. Don't have anything with 7 at the end. I already tried this. I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle here, but I don't know. It also feels like I'm so close, so I need to get it now, but again, I can use the 50 here. Maybe that's something I need. Negative 199. Minus 199. Oops. Negative 199. Minus 199. How far off am I now? 398 minus 256. That's 142. No way I'm getting that, right? Because I also need to, I need to add those in. I see how I can do it in 5. That's so annoying. Like, I see if I, okay. If I do negative 199 twice, and then I add 99, I add 10, and I add 33, then it works. Well, here's the thing. I'm adding... In this whole thing, I'm adding... I'm subtracting 199 and then also adding 99. Isn't that a bit of a waste? Maybe that's something... Wait. If I just do negative 199... minus 101... plus 10... plus 33, I'm 1 off. Oh wait, but what if this is the... Oh wait, wait. What if this one is the +1 intermediary? So then I already have +1 of this. And then I actually get the right number. Because... Wait, is it +1 or -1? No, it should be -1. Should be -1. Okay. Yeah, that could work. Hold up. So let me do that again. So we have 199, 101, add 10, add 33. Negative 99, negative 101, 10, 33. Negative 99, negative 101, 10, 33. Alright, so now I just need to think about which ones are the intermediaries. We'll just put that in there. Alright, so... I think I actually am gonna distance these a bit. You know what, we'll actually put some system into this. I'll put all of the ones with an intermediary here. I'll put all of the ones without an intermediary just somewhere else. Okay, this one actually contains 2 intermediaries, which is interesting. I'll put these in a separate category, I guess. And then you also have this one. I should probably put these in order. There we go. Yeah. I think that's everything. And then these are the remaining ones, which don't actually have any intermediaries. So let's see. So the last time the -1 intermediary appears is the last one. So that's the master key. Okay. The last time the +1 appears is number 16 over there. So that's brown. That's actually an issue, I think. Could that be? That could potentially be an issue. That's brown? Oh. Then yeah, the -5, the last time that appears is white, so that's white. Alright. I'm not sure about brown. Is there another way for me to do that one? Because I think that one is gonna ruin me in the end. Alright, so the intermediaries, I think I figured them out. Mostly. Intermediaries. So +1 is brown. Problem. Literally any other number would have been fine for this, by the way. For brown. And literally anything else for +1 would have been fine. But this specific combination is annoying. That sucks. This is master. That's fine. And then +5 is white, which is also fine. Alright, so let's think about how to do brown in a different way, I guess. We could either do it while using the -1 intermediary, or we could use one of the later ones with the +1 intermediary. Then it would also work. I also find it funny that there's a lockless green door here. Why is that there? Doesn't feel like it's useful. Also, this blank lock doesn't feel like it's useful. Because, like, we have everything, right? Like, we don't need to make this... We don't need to make anything a glitch lock. I guess you could... I guess there are multiple solutions to this, and one of them might involve reusing one of these locks and having it be something with a glitch. I guess that could work. Yeah. Or maybe we do need that in the end, and I'm just an idiot. But like, a lot of this that's here seems very useless. Anyway, we're so close now, so I just need to figure out this one thing with brown, and then we're good. Then I can execute it. Let's see. Well, I have one to spare at least. That's good. So I want to get to -199. So if I do 99, and I do this 2 times, as I said, we'll get 198. So I need an extra 1. Yeah, but is there another way for me to get there? Well, it's not going to be with the -101, I think. I mean, if I do 99 3 times and then do -101, if I had a 3, that would work, but I don't. Okay, if I have 99 twice, and I subtract off 9, and then add 10, then we're actually good. Then I don't need that. So then we don't need that intermediary, and we are actually fine. Alright, that wasn't too bad. So 99 twice, and then 10, and then -9. And then we don't need that one. So, no, wait, so... red times 1, and then orange also times 1. Alright, so then in this case, the last time we use the +1 is pink. So, that's not a problem. Alright. Damn it, I need to rewrite all this. Pink. Fine. And then -1 is master, which is fine, and this is white, which is also fine. Alright, time to get the salvaging. So, these notes absolutely suck, but yeah, just deal with it. God damn, man. Anyway, first one we want to salvage. I'll just do these in any random order, I guess. No, I guess I can do them in terms of the order in which I'm actually going to use these. That would make it a lot easier. Well, I did mess up with stone. I do want to sign flip this, but I do want to do... this one I want to do at the end. Oh wait, no, this one is the second to last. Right. Because I get rid of my remaining stone here. Or here, I don't know. Or here, I guess. And then I want to make 50 stone. So this is the last one that I do. It's this one. Okay. So I can just do them in order except for 4 and 5, which I will do out of order. I'll do them at the end. Alright, let's get to salvaging. Wait. So yeah, this one was 10. So gotta go through this. This might take a while, guys. Maybe I just cut this out of the video because it's not gonna be interesting. Just to be clear, for salvage number 6-7, we're gonna do this one at the top here. Which actually is very nice because it's already white, so I don't need to change everything about it. Anyway, back to salvaging. Okay, this one's actually interesting. So, because this is the last time that the -5 intermediary appears, even though there are 4 things here, I actually need to salvage the one with 3. So, which one was it again? 71. Alright, so I need to salvage the one with 3 instead of 4 because I already have the -5. And otherwise, it would just not work out. So, yeah, let's do that. Bam. This is going to be the same for -1 and +1, so I'm not going to repeat that. Actually, the next one is also interesting because I have white 99 times and then the +1 intermediary twice. And this is the last time that the +1 intermediary appears. So I'm actually going to have to think a bit. I think we want to have 2. Because we want to have the +1 intermediary appear once, but then we already have one +1. So yeah, I think that's correct. We'll see later if that actually ended up being correct. And then finally, this one is also special. We have 5 here. because of this -1 in the master, but of course we only need 4 in reality, so we just salvage this one before. Alright, and this is the last salvage. Bam. Look at all of those, and now we're gonna change them up. Alright, I'm back. That took like at least 10 minutes, just the Omega Key stuff alone. Also, pro tip, don't make the stone glitch. I accidentally did glitch for most of those, so I had to redo some of that. But anyway, that's done now. So, hopefully we can just do these in order and win. So right now we're at 13 stone keys. So first of all, we sign flip stone. Then we get 10 red. Then we get -20 green. We get -30 blue. We get 33 cyan. We obtain our -1 intermediary, you know, the master key. We get a +1 intermediary, which is pink. We get, which one was it? The -5 intermediary, which is white. We then get -9 orange. We get 54 purple. We get 85, oh my god. We get 85 black. Okay, at least it's an easy fix. I just forgot that I needed to do this. Or maybe I miscalculated. But anyway, that should give us 70 and then you get 75. Alright, here we go again. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. 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 Alright. Is everything alright so far? Yes, it is. Moment of truth. This indeed gets 75, which... Oh, it needed to be -75. Oh my god, no. No. Oh my god. You're actually kidding me right now. You're actually joking. Wait. Let's see if I can salvage the rest of this in a figurative sense. Oh yeah, this is gonna be wrong. That was supposed to be white. So let's see how much that ends up giving. -61, yeah, that's wrong. Okay, I see a very roundabout way to actually make this work, after all. This is gonna be very scuffed, but I know how to yeah, okay, nope. Third time's the charm, hopefully. Which one is this? This is, actually that doesn't matter, it's this one. 65, it needs to be 2. And then this one needs to be glitch. Wait, but I don't have anything with glitch, do I? Oh shit. Please don't tell me I have to restart everything. Oh my god, why? No. That's so unfortunate. Can I make it work from what I have right now? I think so, maybe. 54, 33. That gives me 87. Do I have orange yet at this point? I do. So 87 -9 is 78, and I just need 3, which I don't have. Oh wait, but could I make it work with master keys? Maybe. Hold up. I got an insane idea. I got an insane idea to salvage this situation. Okay. So, what I need is master. I need -9. I need 54, I need 33. And I need to make this one different too. So these two, 70 and 65, need to be changed. Alright, so as you can see, I've changed two things. I've changed this to -3, and this to this weird combination. Hopefully this works. I haven't double checked, so... Oh god, please work. Alright. Oh no, wait, that already doesn't work. Damn it! Oh my god! Why? Why? It would have been so cool, man, if I could do it like that. Okay, my plan was to basically use the -3 that I have from... Wait, but I can make... No, I can make it work, I think. Hold up. No, but I get -3. Oh, damn it. Is there some way in how I can make this work? 10 and then 15? Okay, wait, what if I do 10 twice, then minus... minus the 5 from the white, and then... Wait, do I need black in any of the future ones? One of them. Need it for one of them. Can I get away with... No, I don't think I can. 54 minus 9 is 45. Add 30. Doesn't work. Hold up, I got another insane idea to salvage this situation. I think we're gonna use negative master keys to change one of the intermediaries. That would be diabolical. Because let's say that this one was -3. Alright. Then I can do 54, 33... Or wait, 54 minus 9, which is 45. Then add 33, which is 3 too many. And then I subtract 3. So I have this one being 3. Do I use it before this point? I do. That's the annoying part. Maybe I could make that one work though. In a different way. Alright, so if I want to get to 54, let's say I have, you know, -1 at my disposal. Or I guess -4 would be better, yeah. Then I use... Wait, why is there pink here? Oh yeah, no, I have 1 pink at the moment, yeah. That's correct. So no, then I need blue, green, and white. And then I have -54. Okay, I think I solved it. Hold up. I think we got it. I just need to redo some salvages. 69, gonna be... Alright, let's go back. 69 is a 3. It's a 3. And this one is 54. So these two, definitely. This one as well. But then here, I put white. That's all I change. And then this one I also redo. So how many do I need? Well, I need to be able to double this up a few times. Up to 5, so I need 4 at least. 65. Which one is this? This is 67. Oh, 67 was wrong, damn. That is a big blow to the 67 brain rot. Psych, I lied, it's actually 6, it's actually 5. And cut back right about now. Alright, I hope this is the last time I need to change this. Otherwise we need to fully re-envision what we're gonna do here. So, -13, we get this, we get this, we get this. This is all normal. All of these are just normal. Yeah, those amounts are correct. And then here, we use this to get -5 of these. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double this lockup. Alright, now we have -1 master key remaining. And I will make sure that I already get 3 from this. Shoot, I forgot to change that one. Wait. Hold up. I need to change that one to white. You need to change this one to, what was it again? It's the purple one, right? So it's 33. Wait, why did I say it was that? 33, 1, and no wait, it's negative. It's -20, -30, and then yeah, so blue, green, and white. Blue, green, white. Outside is purple. Okay, actual final time. Starting now. Okay, I really hope that this is the final time that I have to do this. So here is the play that we're gonna do. So this is all normal. So here I've done -5 master keys. Now you might be thinking, oh wait, that doesn't work. Well, it does, because I can double this up. And then we'll get it 3 times. Actually, I think I can already get it 4 times. And also, wait, no, but that doesn't work. Wait, because then here... Wait, here I need it... How many times? 4. And here, I need it 3 times. So that order doesn't work. Oh my god. Wait, but I can still make it work out. Okay, this is the 3rd time I've set this now, but please let this be the final time that I do this. Oh god. Okay, that still works. Yes. Oh my god. Let's go. Okay. Please make sure that the rest actually works now. Okay, 99. That's 89. Oh my god. I can't count. Why can I not count? 75. Oh wait, no, I can just change that to blue. That's fine. Okay. Okay, cut back in right about here. Okay, so please let this work. Now it's 101. What the hell happened? Oh wait, I needed to. That's why. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. 99. Let's go. Negative 99. Oh my god, no. No, that doesn't work. Okay, 99 plus 1, which I subtract from this. I guess if I do 2 more of these, it does work. Then I do get negative 101. I'm not even gonna commentate anymore, I'm just gonna... because each time it's gonna fail anyway. Right at the end it's probably gonna fail well as well, and then I'm just gonna be disappointed and I'm gonna have to redo everything. All of this effort will be wasted. Yes, hold. Negative 199. Okay, okay, okay. 213. 256. Get rid of all of these. 50. Please work, please work, please work. Oh my god, please work, please work, please work. Yes! Oh my god. Oh my god, please. Okay. Oh, thank god, man. Oh my god. Wow. That was certainly the puzzle of all time. There are definitely multiple solutions there, and this was definitely not an elegant one, but with enough finagling around for 2 mistakes that I ended up making, one here and one here, we ended up making it work in the end, and that's what counts. Oh god, okay, so now we can go back here and fall, because this bridge actually doesn't work yet. Yeah. So, that's fun. Anyway, we'll try World Omega now, because that's actually all we have remaining, except, you know, the one thing. You don't have anything to say? So yeah, we're just gonna have to do this, I think. Alright, we'll just start with these 3 because they're like separate, and I feel that these are gonna be easier. Maybe. Alright, so this one's called copy. So we probably need to do something with copying. That would make sense. If we fall down here, we can't go back up. So we need to do this right at the end. Okay, interesting to note that we need 0 white keys. We need... no, wait. Yeah, we need 0 white, 0 pink, and 0 red, but not 0 purple. Purple does not actually need to be 0 to beat the level. Okay, we can double these up as much as we want. Let's see, so... I won't write on white, because that's gonna be horrible. So yeah. We'll do blue. To finish, need 1 white... 2 pink, 2 red, no restriction on purple. No, sorry. 4 pink. Okay. This looks like something that could be a system of equations, but it's gonna be a very scuffed one if that is true. I mean, we have too many unknowns, right? So actually... I mean, what options do we have? So, this basically takes whatever pink you have, and then... Oh, okay, so it makes pink whatever white is, but negative. Got it. And this makes pink whatever red is, but negative, so it's gonna make it -4. Which is actually what we want. Yeah. Oh, I see. So we're basically doing a... Okay, we're basically copying without destroying. Because the problem is, if we do this... Actually, this is fine. No, it actually isn't. But okay, let's just say, okay, I want to swap pink and red. That's basically the goal of this stage, is to swap pink and red around. Well, if I do this, then I no longer have a 2. And I don't think there's any way for me to get a 2 now. Because I'm just copying numbers over and having the signs changed. So, yeah, that's actually not possible. But, you know, again, purple is this intermediary value, like before. It doesn't affect anything, it doesn't need to have a specific condition at the end. So we can use that to swap these two. So I need to basically store the number we have in pink in purple. Alright. Then I can change pink to be the same as red. Good. Now I actually need to... I do need to sign flip red though, don't I? How do I sign flip red? I think white is just a distraction in this stage. I don't actually think we need it. Actually, maybe for parity reasons we do need it. But let's just try swapping the two numbers and seeing what we get. So now we're going to put whatever we have for... Oh, wait, doesn't this work? Oh, no, no, wait, this does absolutely nothing. Okay. Yeah, we need 2 of these and 4 of these. So I think we want to use this one now. Because that... No, wait, that changes purple. We want to do this one in the middle. Yeah. Alright, now here's the main problem. We've changed things around, but the sign of pink is wrong. And here's why I think we need white, is to fix the parity. Because also, this changes the parity. Which is the only thing that actually does that in this stage. Except, oh no, wait, actually, every time you switch things around, it changes the parity, but... Yeah. Okay, so... Actually, that's an interesting thing. I think at all times you must have... No, that's not true. What am I doing? My life is in shambles. No, I need to store 4. There we go. Then I need to put it here. No, first I need to update this one, right? -2. Yeah, now the last one isn't correct. I feel like I can fix the signs if I think about it real hard. I think what we might want to do is... Okay, so what we actually did here is we swapped 2 and 4, but we introduced a minus sign. So any swap is going to introduce a minus sign. So it's like cyclic permutations. So really what we want to do, I think, is cyclically permute these, maybe? I don't know. No, wait. What if we swap 2 and 1? And then 1 and 4? So no, wait. 2 and 1. Then 2 and 4. Then there's a 2 here, a 1 here. And that... Wait. Wait, 2, 1, 4, and I need 1, 4, 2. And then I cyclically permute all of them. So I swap these 2 and I cyclically permute everything. Maybe I'm overcomplicating this actually. Like I see the main bits of it, I just need to see how I actually do it in practice. Let's try cyclically permuting all 3 and see what happens, honestly. So... Okay, that means I need to bring 1 to 4, right? No, but I think I can do... No, wait, no. Let me actually think about this in a different way. 2 and 1 can be swapped. And then swap pink and red. And then swap 2 and 1 again. Okay, yeah. If I swap these 2, then swap these 2, and then swap these 2 again, we might have something interesting, and that's only 3 swaps. So, try. Yes, we're gonna try. Alright. Swap pink, swap white and pink. Then red, pink. Then white, pink again. I'll just... Maybe that does something interesting, I don't know. Yeah. So for that, I need to store... So in purple, I need to store the value... Also, this 8 is a complete red herring, like, you don't need this at all, I think. Swap white and pink. So... I put white into purple, right? So it is actually this one. Alright, then... I put white into pink. No, I put pink into white. So, yeah. Okay. Put pink into white, and then I finally put, yeah, I put purple into pink. So, like this. No, the other way around. There we go. So... that gives me 2 of these signs which are swapped. Now I could have made this one negative as well if I did a sign flip on this. That's interesting to keep in mind. But for now I think I'll swap these 2. So we'll do pink and red. So I need to put the value for pink into purple, which it actually already is. So then I need to put that value into... No, wait, then I need to put red into pink. So... need this one. And then I put whatever purple is into... red. This one. Alright, now we have 2 minus signs. And I think here is where I'm gonna use my sign flip. Because now... Hold up. No, wait. So wait, I swapped these 2. Did I swap the wrong ones? White pink, then red pink, then white pink. No, I did the right ones. I just didn't actually do it correctly in my head. Hold up, I'll just write it down on a piece of paper. So we start with 1, 2, 4. We need to get to 1, 4, 2. So I said we're going to swap. So this is white, pink, red. So I said we need to swap white and pink. 2, 1, 4. Oh wait, and then you swap white and red. And you get 4, 1, 2, and then you swap white and pink. And then it does work. Okay. So I did make a small mistake there. Oh god, I went all the way back to the start. Oh well. So, white and pink. So, we store... God, I keep... It's just slightly confusing, which is just... Okay, so we put this into here. Then we put pink into white. So we use this one. Okay, and then we put purple into pink. There we go. Then we do this for white and red. So I put white into purple. And which one do I now have to swap after this? It's red. So I should make sure that I actually sign flip this. And then I put this into red. Yeah, then this is 2. Oh wait, but now I don't have a 4. Oh wait, I messed up. First need to put this into white, don't I? Yeah, so this one. Okay, and then we actually put this in. Alright, good. And now I just need to swap white and pink. So we put pink into purple. So that's not this one, that's the other one. Okay, there we go. Then I put white onto pink. I think this is gonna work, yeah. And then finally, we put purple onto white. So that's this one. Okay, that was a cute little puzzle. That was cool. Oh, I like that. You know, it was just about copying things around. I think that's also like a computer science thing, where like, if you're actually moving things around in memory, you need some intermediary variable to be able to do that. I don't know, you're not gonna get that knowledge from me, I really don't know. Okay, this is definitely a system of equations, 100%. And what was this one called? Square. I guess because it's with square numbers. Anyway, so we get a -2, which we can use infinitely many times. Because, yeah. So we just need to find... I guess this is just here for quality of life, so that you can get this some number of times and then this after, and then... It's just so you don't have to do single locks the whole time. So that doesn't actually make a difference. But what we're going to get is some number of black, or sorry, cyan, purple, and pink. Alright. Now here's the interesting thing, actually. Okay, so this is like the actual system of things. Yeah. This is again annoying because I'm gonna have to do this on a piece of paper and like you won't be able to see any of this. But again, I'll put this in the description probably, so then you can see it. But anyway, so this first one, so we get -1, this becomes unstarred, and then we get 1. So this actually we get 0 from this. Then we get some number of pink. Oh yeah, but we have some number of pink. This gives us a number of master keys. And then we get red that many times. So actually it's just... Is it just n times n? Is that why it's called square? Because you just get square numbers? I think so. I think that is the case. Okay, I don't need to write that down actually. So I'll just write down machine takes x's number of pink as input, gives y equals x squared is number of red as output. That's what these three do. Alright. Now here it's a bit different because we have this exact master key. Like here it's unstarred and then we get 1 and then 0. But here we get 1 already. So it's gonna be slightly different. Here we get... Okay, I might need to write this one out. So we get 1, and then we subtract off how many cyan we have. So I'll call that... Actually, wait. Okay. I'll just put this up here, actually. So x is going to be the number of red. Y is going to be the number... No, sorry, not number of red. Number of pink. Y is going to be the number of green. And Z is going to be the number of blue. Sorry, I'm brain farting. Cyan. And Z is the number of purple. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, now I need to think about what this actually does. So we have one exact master key, so I'll just write down 1. We subtract... we subtract the number of cyan we have. And this will be applied to this. So this is the number of times this is doubled up. And actually I just realized something. This one is x plus 1 squared. Because you also have this lock here. So every time you double it up, it's actually... Yeah. Okay, let's say I don't have any pink. Well, I can't actually open this then, but... Okay, let's say I don't have any master keys. That's more realistic. Then I will open this one time. So if I have no master keys, that means that whatever I have here is 1. So I have 1, I do 1 here, I get -1. So that's just... No, but that doesn't really work, does it? Hold up. I need to avoid off by 1 errors. This is why I'm doing this. You know what? I can always just use the test of let the game calculate the answer. Okay, I can't actually do 1, but I can do 2. Let's see. So in that case... Okay, we don't actually... Oh, right, it's an exact one. Oh, no. Okay, in that case, it's actually identical all 3 times. Okay. I thought this wasn't an exact key for some reason. Or I forgot about it. Yeah, no. Then it's actually the same mechanism each time. Sorry. Okay, so I just need to figure out what this does, and then it will be the same each time. So... Yeah, we'll do -2. Or we'll do 2. Then I get -1 from this, which means I get this twice. And I just get this squared with a negative sign. And let's say I do 3. Then I have this, which I do 2 times. And I get... Yeah, okay. So actually, it's very simple. Okay, you don't need to worry about anything. You just get -x² is the number of red as the output. Alright. And that is... so same for the other 2 machines. Alright, so that's good to know. Now I can actually solve the system of equations, which... You know, at this point I've written down mostly everything here, so I think I'll just write it down in notes here. So we sign flip these numbers. Okay. And then we see that this and this, when we add them up, must equal exactly 337. Okay, so we must find... Okay, so... Yeah, okay. So x² plus y² equals 337. That's our first equation. Second equation is y² plus z² equals 425. Alright. And then the final equation is z² plus x² equals 250. Alright. So now I just need to find how I'm gonna do that. I think this is just kinda gonna be a question of trial and error, maybe? I don't know if there's an easy way to solve a system like this. Well, actually, no. It's actually very simple. I just need to solve it as if it were a normal system, because it is just linear, but in x² and y² and z². Okay. I will write this down on paper. Sorry. So I'll make some new variables. I'll call A to be x². I'll call B to be y², and I'll call C to be z². And then what I can do is that the system becomes a linear system. So what we get is just that A plus B equals 337. We get that B plus C equals 425. And we get that A plus C equals 250. Alright, and then I can just solve this using any method that I want. I'm just gonna use... let me see, can I make an easy combination of this that's gonna get rid of some of these? if I add up all three equations, I get everything twice. That's not what I want. If I do the first equation minus the last two, yeah, okay, that would work. Alright, so I'll call these equations by name, and we'll do the first equation minus the second equation minus the third equation. Then we get rid of A, we get rid of B, and then we have negative 2C, which is equal to 337 minus 425 minus 250, which I will just work that out. I know I could have, I know I can work up this entire system with a calculator, but I do actually feel like thinking about it for a bit. But like actually doing the numbers is a bit boring. Alright, so dividing that by negative 2, we get that C is equal to 169, which is actually a perfect square. That's 13 squared. Alright, so then the rest is pretty simple. Because then B is equal to 425 minus C, which is 256, which is 16 squared. And then finally we have A, which is equal to 250 minus C, 250 minus 169 is 81, which is 9 squared. So that all works out in the end. Alright, so now I know how many I need of each. So I'll just write down the answer here, I guess. So answers, so x is equal to 9, y is equal to 16, and z is equal to 13. Cool. They are just in order, right? Yeah. Okay, so... oh, shit. Alright, and then let's breeze through this. Oh, wait. Alright, give this some time. This is really satisfying, actually. Anyway, that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. 2 out of the 4 are done now. Let's do Sat. What's this? Oh god. So what do we need here? We need 4 pure keys, so we need all 4 of these paths. And then at the end, we also need this to match up so that we get 40 in the end. It doesn't need to be exactly 40, it just needs to be at least 40. So that means that the sum of blue and pink at the end must be at least... No, wait. Yeah, it must be negative, and the absolute value must be at least 40. Alright, so that means number of pink plus number of blue at the end is no greater than negative 40. Because then the absolute value is bigger than 40, and yeah, that works. Okay. There's no imaginary things in this, right? Yeah, no. Otherwise that would be a bit more annoying. Alright, let's see what we can do. So what does this do? So this actually does absolutely nothing. This also does absolutely nothing. Oh, I guess this just... Oh, okay, that's why it's setting. Yeah. It's setting whatever we have back to 20, I think. Because... Yeah. Okay, so we need to have... Okay, I see. So, like, this would work, right? And then I set it back to 20. And then now, I need to open up as many pink as I can. Okay, here's the part where it gets interesting, because we also have this here. I think I can afford to get away with this, but then I actually don't have as many options. No, so I don't want to do that. So I think I do want to open these two. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, okay. And then I get this. I go back to -16. Then I get all of these. Which I don't know if I want to get that one, actually. Okay, that we don't want to do, because then that's going to give us less. So we want to do that when we have, like, 1 pink or something. Or when we have some negative amount. That could also be it. Okay, I must stop here because I want to have this one open and... Yeah, okay, wait. Let me restart. Let's try opening these two and then opening, like, everything inside in terms of this. Okay, maybe not everything. I do need to keep that one open. But then I can get 12. No, I can't actually get 12. I can get everything else, though. Might even be able to do it the other way around. Hold up. Yeah, two seems good. 2 seems great. Okay, then we get -16 again. Okay, but here's the thing. I actually want to get this one, don't I? Oh, maybe not right now. No, actually, I don't want to get that right now. That's fine. So, yeah. Okay, I can get this. And I can get this. So now I can get this back to -10. Honestly, this might be a good time to... No, actually, never mind. No, but yeah, the problem is I can't get to anything higher than this now. Which is really an issue. Okay, I see what the issue is, so... So by the time I get all of these, I still need to have 20 of one of these at least. And then I can get the other one to 20. Okay, so... Oops. Wait, where's the toggle? Hold up. I literally can't access this note, I think. Oh well. That's just gonna be there forever now. But yeah, I need to think about that more. The fact that I need to reset things. So I think I do want to start with just getting these two. And then I set this back to 20. And then I go full ham here. Maybe not full ham, maybe just this amount of ham. Oh wait, if I get this, I have -1, which seems very optimal, you know? I don't know if that's the way I should be thinking about this. Probably not. Probably this is going to be the way that they screw me around. Is by that not actually being the optimal play. Wait, if I get that, I get bus. So I actually don't want that. Hold up. 3. Hey, that's good. 16. Yeah, no, I have to get that. And then 11. Then I can get this. And this. Now getting this does absolutely nothing. That's a problem. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, no, I'm not getting there. Okay, I needed to use another 20 early on, I feel. Because otherwise I can only use one of these at the end anyway. So... Okay, but now I can't get rid of any blue. Yeah, so I'm actually screwed. Okay, so actually, maybe it's good to work backwards for this. There are certain scenarios that I have. Okay, so once I get the last pure key, I know that I need to have 20 still remaining of some key type. And I don't know which one that'll be. But what I do know is if I go through here, it must be pink. That is still a 20. Because I've already taken away some of these. Here... it must be blue, because if I sign flip this, it's gonna be -20. And there's no way I can actually do anything with that, I think. Yeah, no, if this is any number that is... Yeah, it's just not gonna work with this. So yeah, if this is the last one, then we better have blue at 20, but then even then it doesn't work, because this is negative. So actually this one can't be the last one. Okay. Because I think this one has to be followed by this one. Because then you get 4. Yeah. This one could be the last one, potentially. I think, yeah. So, pink sign flip must be followed by this. By these two. So I mean this one and this one, because then let's say you have some negative amount of pink, well you could set it back to positive 4, and then you can open this and you still have 1 remaining. So that's good. That's a good scenario. So this one could potentially be the last one. So if this is last, have pink at 20. If this is last, have blue at negative 20. And if this is last, also have blue at negative 20. This one feels less likely to be it, but I don't know. I don't really have a reason for why. Okay, but we can already think about that. And then also, what we can also know is we're going to use... One of these we're going to use 2 times, and the other one we're going to use once. And this will correspond to whichever one will be, you know, the last one, basically. So, in the end game of this, what will we have? Like in the final thing. Well, we should have only locks that need to be opened that have all the same color, right? Because I need to keep one of these at 20, and if I have, you know, if I have different types, then both of them will go below 20. So that can't happen, so it must all be the same. Now I do see this big cluster of pink, that's all pink. So if I could get this at the end, and only this, then we'd be good. Now the other option is to only have this, but this feels very unlikely. So I'm just gonna say this one's unlikely, but I haven't ruled it out yet. It just feels unlikely that I would just have this remaining at the end and nothing else. In this end game, I think having a lot more like this cluster still remaining is a lot more likely. So yeah, I think we can work with that. So that means it's likely, not guaranteed, that we need blue at negative 20 at the end. Oh, here it is. I found the little circle. Amazing. Alright, so that means that we need to probably use this twice and use this once. Okay, so I think we can start by just doing this, and then... I mean, that feels optimal, right? And then we can get rid of all the pink that we have here. that's all we can do there. So now we use this one. And now we can get rid of all of the blue here. And then actually this is 0, so we don't want that. But... I think if I get that top one, we should be good. Oh yeah, this also works. I think. Okay. Wait, I actually need this one. There we go. And then get 20. And now we're in the end game that I want, I think. No, actually, we're in the wrong end game. Shoot. Because I do need this one remaining, but I need to not spend anything. There. Okay, I need to do this in a different order, but I think that's fine. We'll just get... Yeah, I think we can get all of these except this. So maybe don't get that one. And then get this. And then... Yeah, I want to get that, so I can get this, and then get that, so that I can have that, and also this. And I still have one remaining, which is actually exactly what I want. And now, we go through here, we get that. I did it in the wrong order. This one first, then we do this. Alright, and then we sign flip. We still have negative 20 blue. Bam. Bam bam. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, okay. Hold up a sec. Okay, I think I'm close, but I just forgot a thingamajig here. I think we need to get everything else first. Actually, wait. Yeah, this is gonna work. Now we get 20, and now we sign flip this. So we get negative 40 on both of these, and then we win. Okay. Cool. One level remaining until we can call this world sort of cleared. Yeah, these levels are actually fun. I thought they would be way worse, but they're actually really interesting. Let's see what we have here. So here we have this, which we could just skip this, but I don't think we want to do that. Okay, we get one key here, which I find interesting, because then you can go in here. Then you can't go in here anymore, so like, what's the deal? What's the deal with this? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, right now I'm just waltzing a bit, but I think I figured out what they want me to do here. Yeah, we had a level like this in World 9, didn't we? Oh, okay, and this one's alternating. That's why, okay. So, yeah. Because let's think about how many times we can alternate. Because there is a finite number of these, of course, because there's a finite number of locks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 16. So we can do this 4 times and then 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16 pink and 16 white locks. So you can do each thing 4 times. Also, because the bottom row is alternating, you always need to get that one. Alright, so what I mean by that is, because you only have 4 runs of this, and here it's alternating 4 times, you need to get this every time you get one of those 4 keys. So I need to get this, otherwise I can't beat the novel. And then I can do whatever I want. Sure, we'll put some in here, and then just do that, I guess. I don't really have a strategy. But yeah, we can do that, and then we're good for that. Okay, and then we can go back in. We get this. Yeah, this feels like we're opening up a lot. There's probably gonna be smaller alternators in here that I'm not noticing right now. But yeah. Imagine I just got it first try, that would be funny. I don't think so, but a man can dream, right? I think we aren't... I think I did actually in fact get a first try, hold up. Yep. Mm-hmm. Alright. Well, thanks, game. I don't know if that's, like, failable if you do it in the wrong order. I just kind of went off gut feeling, and, it worked. Well, that was the easiest clear ever. And now we've cleared this world, so now we can see what's over here, I hope. What the hell? Kina's masterpiece? Omega Omega. I guess, yeah, this does count as like a numbered world in that sense. So I guess this is like a joke on how we're going beyond the, you know, if you count all of the numbers and then see what number comes after, or what ordinal, sorry. If you count all the ordinals up, so, no, wait. Let's say you have a row of people, and it's like first, second, third, and there's an infinite row of people, and then someone else gets in behind the row. Well, what number do you give that person? That's called Omega. So I think it's a play on that, and then Omega Omega is like, it's the end of Omega, it's the end of World Omega, so it's not just World Omega, but it's also like Omega in terms of the level name. Anyway, this is the last puzzle that Kina has set aside for you. Oh dear. You might be tempted to call it the hardest or the most important one to solve. But in truth, it's merely one more puzzle that has been crafted with the utmost heart. This is only speculation, of course, but I know for certain that you can solve it. Well, no pressure. Are you ready? After all this time, it's finally about to end for real. Or perhaps not. Oh? There is always something new to learn, another angle to explore, another trick to figure out. A further place to go that could have only been reached by making it this far to begin with. The world will continue, and so shall yours after you've moved on from here. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. I know I have. Anyways, this sign is running out of space now, so... Oh, that's alrighty then. Huh, well, I'm certainly feeling a ways of sorts now. A ways of sorts? What? Maybe I should talk to Kina when all this is done. Well, goodbye. There's text on the back. Bye. Hey, look, I can write on the back, lol. It's like a metaphor, because I was talking about worlds continuing and stuff. That's funny. Nobody could have anticipated it, but it's the sentimental sign comeback special. You're gonna want to take a lot of notes for this puzzle, by the way. It's like way too hard, so good Okay. Oh god. I just want to see what this is and be blown away. Okay. This contains salvages. This contains infinite keys. This contains suctions and lockless locks and what the hell is this? I assume this is the exit. This is just a heart. The fuck? Oh my god, what is this? Well, we're not doing this right now, but look forward to this soon. Maybe, yeah, so something like that. Alright. Yeah. Hey, at least... Wait. At least I can do one thing. One thing I know for sure. I have to salvage this, right? Like, these all must be salvaged in this way. So... that at least is clear. It could also be that we actually don't want to salvage them, though. No, it's fine. Surely the way ahead wouldn't be blocked, right? If we just salvage these already. That would be a dick move. Imagine you'd have to start the whole thing over. Just because of that. But yeah, then it puts them up here. Alright, interesting. So yeah, we can change these around as we see fit, but not right now. I think that's the only place that salvages are present. I assume this is again like one section per area of what you've done so far. Although I don't really see that immediately, I think, there's more of a mix actually. But it is definitely divided into clear sections. Anyway, we're just gonna leave it there. We'll do these other levels some other time. They are interesting though. They're actually not that hard, surprisingly. I find them pretty doable. But yeah, now we can actually go here and see what's over here. Oh, okay. Moment of truth. What's gonna be on the other side of this bridge? We have one stone key, which is preventing this bridge from collapsing. Oh. The end. Well, we're not quite there yet, but I guess we can call this the end, yeah, sure. Oh, hello again. Hey, not much to do here, so feel free to take a seat. Sure, why not? So, is this the end? Yep. Like, the real end? No last minute super duper secrets left to find? Because I'm sort of used to that. As hard as it may be to believe, this is indeed the intended ending of the experience. Guess I'll just let that simmer for a moment. It's funny too. Honestly, at some point I was getting the feeling that this really could just go on forever. I do not blame you for thinking that. In a sense, I have that feeling too. But my part in it had to end eventually. Your part? Do you mind a brief tangent? Feel free. I had many more ideas for this world than just the ones you saw. Yeah, we saw that in the diary. Some of them were really good ideas as well. With enough effort, this world could have continued for a very long time. But the simple fact of the matter is that trying to continuously add stuff like that is pretty demanding. I decided at some point that I would just let go of some things and be proud of what I had already made. It was a pretty good choice, methinks. I see. So, I guess you're committed to that decision? More or less. I would certainly be fine with someone building off of my ideas further, though. I've got a whole bucket list of things people could try already. Oh, sorry. I've got a whole bucket list of things people could try already prepared, should the opportunity present itself. Huh. While I was working on this, that sense of being a pioneer of new ideas was quite fun. I wanted to try and be as creative as I could in my endeavors involving this whole concept of keys and doors. I think I succeeded in some ways. Pretty proud of the more abstract or mathy puzzles, as well as the meta stuff. I wanted puzzles like that to open people up to the possibilities and maybe spur them to make their own spins on the idea. I see. There were many incredible things I got to take in while I was here, at least. I do wonder, though. With this whole engagement, as private as it is, it feels like the people you could reach with this are few and far between. I am aware of that. I think even at the start, I noted how the things here feel right out of a video game. So, I have to ask, any reason in particular you chose not to do that and make it physical instead? Mostly it had to do with the aspect of immersion. Immersion. I like to enjoy the wonderful brief moments the world has to offer. So it was my hope that making everything I envisioned real would allow that sense of wonder to really sink in. Additionally, I wanted to be able to interact with the participants directly. Just a personal desire. I think I get it. As for the video game angle, it would be nice, but I am unsure of how I would adapt to aforementioned things to that medium. Well, L.A. Watson sure was sure about that. Especially in terms of trying to hold convincing dialogues with an ambiguous player entity. Is that so? Indeed, Sounds like you have an idea, but think it might sound silly. Feel free to let it out, because frankly, if you thought of something, I'd love to hear it. Well, instead of making it about a general experience, how about just making it about one? I figure I made it this far, and it's been nice talking with you. Do you suppose my time here would make for a fun game? Maybe. You okay with being in a video game, though? I figure as long as I don't divulge anything too personal, should be fine. Heck, I can change some details and even make stuff up if necessary. Alright, so what I'm gathering here is that this really happened, but then this was turned into a video game. This whole experience. If you say so. But that does leave the question of the game-making part itself. The game-making part itself. I don't know too much about all that, although I do have some friends online who could probably help. L.A. Watson. Truthfully, it might be a better idea to get the Ambassador Society involved. They already have the people and resources for things of that nature. Do what you want, though. I figured I'd just make your opinions known. And please, don't feel inclined to make something on my behalf. Just stay true to yourself. I'm satisfied with what I have here at the end of the day. True, I'd like to think about it, at least, since I really enjoyed my time here. I think I'll enjoy this view for a while. Same. I hope whoever comes after me can enjoy all this stuff just as much as I did. That'd be the dream. Thanks for making this, Kina. Well, thank you for humoring all my antics and seeing all the stuff I want to do to find. It's been a good run. Alrighty, that's the end. Not really. I mean, we still have a lot of levels left, but that's like the end. And like it's an actual credits sequence made with Game Maker Studio, unfortunately. Yeah, as I said, inspired by Wanna Lockpick. Yeah. So I'll just leave this running for a sec, unless I have something else to say. Yeah, that's the original compositions I was talking about. God. I guess I don't want to give my thoughts on the game just yet. I'll do that after everything is done. But yeah, the music in this is good, but yeah, it is, of course, mostly from existing video games, but the selection of music that was used it definitely fits. It's really nice to listen to for extended periods of time. Even the one for World Omega, I actually was critical of it earlier, but it actually works really well, because like they are puzzles where you have to focus a bit more, and just having like a nice atmospheric theme and like a very minimal layout, which just white, it actually works pretty well, and it doesn't feel like dry or anything. Yeah. So, oh yeah, there are actually more people here who made puzzles. But yeah, I think like 99% of it is by L.A. Watson. We still need to read, you know, the whole thing, the whole spiel in the Lockpick Museum. Do I do that today? We'll do that now. That's fine. So what do we still have left after this? We still have... Okay, wait, I actually want to read this. Original concept and blessing. Oh yeah, this is from the I Wanna Lockpick. Wonderful guest composer, pushing for high quality. Isley Puzzles had a great time. I had a great time. You should put me on here. What the hell? Tried to have a great time. My first push into puzzle design, inspiring in its insanity. That's accurate. Made the engine this game uses. Screw Game Maker, apparently. I mad at their level editor, being the patient that they were. Friends, parents. Oh, that's cute. Unspecial thanks. Damn it, I couldn't read everything. I'll have to read that in a sec. Anyway. Can I open up your heart again? Does that work? Anyway. We've solved 196 puzzles. I think, yeah, there are just over 200 then. Because we still have Manic Monolith, as I said. Or I haven't said that, but I wasn't going to say that. We still have Chromatic Monolith. We still have the rest of World Omega. And then we just have Kina's Masterpiece. So we still have 2 mega puzzles and a lot of small puzzles. And then this game is like 100% done. Just absolutely done. And the rest is just dialogue. So, yeah. I think we can maybe have a look at the dialogue now. Actually, no, you know what? I'll leave that for next time. I think this is a good point to end. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. So this is not the end, of course, but I will see you in a future off-stream recording.